asking me.
So number 5 for me this year in 2020, top 5, starting it off, was Miles Morales.
Ooh.
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
Miles Morales.
Okay.
Nice.
I really, really like this game. I know when they first announced it and they showed it, I was a little disappointed in the length. You know, I was kind of dogging it like, this isn't a full game. They're scamming us, charging us $50 or whatever for the game. But man, I really, really, really enjoyed this game so much. Like, I actually toyed with making it a little bit higher, actually,
Dang.
than even 5, because it was so good. And I think what I loved about it so much was I loved Miles Morales, like the character.
Okay, just the actual character.
Yeah, like, and the story too. Like, I was actually really engaged. The story made total sense to me as I was playing it through. It was a solid, made sense narrative. I know sometimes that's hard. Sometimes the narrative gets lost in the game.
Right.
Like, you don't really know what you're doing anymore. You know, I gotta just go fight evil. I don't
Oh,
really
there's
know.
a lot of whys. Like, why is this happening? Why is that
yeah,
happening?
yeah, exactly. You know, like, you just completely forget about what you're doing and you just keep playing. But in this one, like, I totally knew what was going on. It made total sense. They integrated some of the characters in perfectly, you know. It flowed well. And then the character Miles Morales, he's just like such a nice dude. He's like pure heart, you know, like he's just the kindest guy. Like, he's a great hero. Like, he's just a great hero, man. I liked him, honestly, more than I liked Peter Parker in the base Spider-Man game.
Really?
I liked him more. I actually wanted to keep playing him more. Like, if I had a choice between the two, I'd prefer to keep playing Morales more in the next iteration of Spider-Man 2 or whatever they call it, when it comes back around next generation. And I got to play it in 60 frames per second with ray tracing, which, of course, doesn't hurt anything.
Right.
But what I really love with the story, I loved how they ended it. They left
So
no
you beat
loose.
it?
I beat it. Yeah,
Okay.
I beat Spider-Man Morales. I love the way that they ended it. I loved how they, I don't want to ruin anything, but how they incorporated his friends into the ending. I was like, whoa, like that was a great way of so-and-so finishing the story off, right? Like, I was kind of shocked about what happened.
Right.
Really enjoyed it. The Venom powers was really the only new thing they added as far as like the original
You're talking
Spider-Man.
about the electrocution?
Yeah, the
and stuff?
electrocution. They call it Venom powers, which
Okay.
there's a disconnect there.
Yeah.
Or they call it like a shock powers or something, but they call it Venom powers.
Right.
And it's basically just electricity. I had a lot of fun with the Venom powers. You felt really strong when you used them.
What about the camouflage?
The camouflage, I used that too. And there was a sweet ability that you could actually get that you can put on your suit, that when you get noticed, it triggers the camouflage immediately. So you don't even have to remember to activate it.
Oh, okay.
And,
That's tight.
Dude, it really made you lethal and stealth, you know? So there were instances where I was feeling like I was playing Batman.
Yeah.
You know, like it felt like Gotham Knights. I'm like, it made me really pumped for Gotham Knights.
Okay.
Like, I was
Right.
like, gosh, I can't wait to play Gotham Knights because this feels so solid. It feels so punchy. It made me really appreciate it after playing Godfall, because I talked about how I felt like the dodge was just broken.
Right.
In this game, it's buttery smooth.
Nice.
The moment that you know that Spidey sense triggers,
Yeah,
you're moving,
activating.
man.
Yeah,
You're
his
dodging.
reflexes are
It
quick.
feels
man.
so stinking fast and fluid and like fun. You feel invincible at times, you know, just when you're getting your combos linking together and fighting, then your Venom powers link in and your finishers and your takedowns. Like, it's just so much fun, man. I had a lot of fun. And it was a little bit longer than I actually was expecting it to be. So it was
Nice.
not long. It was definitely short. But it was a little bit longer, but it felt fine. Like, I felt like it didn't overstay its welcome.
Nice.
There's a lot of little things to do. It's a much smaller little section of the city than the full Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
But they give you lots of little fun things to do and collect in there.
Okay.
Just traversing around, kind of like Watch Dogs, collecting items and stuff. I can't say enough. I'm looking forward to the next one. I really hope they continue and give Miles Morales a little bit more of the screen time this time
gameplay?
around,
Yeah.
because I really enjoyed them. Or maybe in the next one they'll let you choose. Maybe you can choose
That would be dope.
between which
Nice.
one you want to play, and then maybe you can go back and play the other one. Right, you can get like 2 playthroughs out of it, because I really enjoyed him. He's just such a likable, nice kid. You just can't help but root for him. He does all the right things. Super big fan of Miles Morales
Nice.
in this game. So great game, man.
Nice.
I recommend it. When you guys get your PS5, man, play that.
I can't wait.
Immediately.
I can't
yeah,
wait.
play it immediately.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So for my number 5, it was previously your guys' 6 and 7.
Okay.
So my number 5 is Genshin Impact. So
Okay, so that made your top 5.
that made my top 5. So I played this game on mobile and PC.
Mhm.
So On PC, this game is buttery smooth. The graphics are
You
incredible.
probably get 60 frames per second on the PC, right?
Yes, so
Shoot, that's
60
cool.
FPS and
That's cool.
QHD. This
Oh, that's
game
cool.
looks beautiful.
You have to play that on the PS5,
Yeah,
man.
when that
See how it
one-
looks
yeah.
there.
So it got to the point where I couldn't play it on the mobile anymore. I felt like the mobile, like you're
Didn't
playing
give it
Switch.
justice.
Like this
You
is
were
a Switch, guys.
Spoiled already.
This
huh?
is Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild Switch,
Yeah.
and the PC is the PS5, Xbox
Yeah.
Series X. So this game, I just love the world. Like it rewarded you for exploration. I feel
Mhm.
more than Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
You can collect. I feel like your bag size was very generous. You could collect all the things you want. You were rewarded for doing chests, little puzzles on how to get the chests. The world was the reason why I like this game. I didn't play it as much as you guys. I didn't, get super high level,
Mhm.
but I just explored it. I just ran around. I love
And it was
the
fun to do
combat.
that.
Yes, I love the combat system in this
Totally.
game. I feel like the combat was so much more. It was superior to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, think
I
so.
love that you can, customize your group. You can customize your abilities. Certain encounters, it just takes a button press to switch from range to melee,
Yeah.
to change your spells. You use your cooldowns, your good abilities on one character, you switch to the next. Like, it's just, you can react to the world. And to me, Genshin Impact has one of the best worlds that I played in a long time. And you guys already said this, the cherry on top is it's free 99. And I would say even if this game was a $60 game, it's still worth every penny. Like, this just shows, that games, the price doesn't matter,
Make a good game, and I'll spend additional money in game. Like,
Absolutely.
you don't need to have a high price.
People were spending like thousands of dollars on those
Yes.
those loot,
Tons
loot
of money,
boxes
dude.
People on
just for the
YouTube were
different
just
people.
showing you
yeah,
busting
it was
open
like
packs.
a YouTube
Yeah.
brand of videos. It became like a
just like
a
a pack
genre of
opening,
videos. Yeah, like Genshin Impact pack openings.
Yeah,
So
man.
if you make a good game, you will be rewarded for
Yep.
it, guaranteed. So I'd say the community doesn't lie in those things. It's a good game. A good game is a good game, free or not. And this developer, I'm really excited to see what they release in the future. Are they going to make Genshin Impact into some sort of franchise? Are they going to have spin-off games in this world? I think they're really successful. They created something that internationally is awesome. And I was really thankful to play this game. It was free, and I loved it. So that
yeah,
was my number
I'm
5.
actually curious to see if to find out if it actually ends.
I know, right?
Like I don't, because there's so much stuff to do
Mhm.
and so many
Yeah.
things that you
you
get
just
caught
keep
up
going
doing.
and getting stronger and stronger. And
Yeah,
new
like I kind of
dungeons.
want to do like the main quest lines and just see if there's an actual ending to the game,
Right.
or if it just keeps going. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it just doesn't stop. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good choice for 5.
It's a great game. It's hard to decide where it falls, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so
you
unique.
see, it's
yeah,
like all
it's
different
all over
for
the
us.
place. Yeah.
But from my number 5, it's actually Grounded.
Nice.
Ooh, I was
nice.
a
You
fan.
loved that game, man.
Yeah, man.
That's a
so,
personal favorite of yours for
so-
sure.
So
This
Grounded. If
is
you
a
guys
personal
don't
pick.
know, Grounded. If you guys don't know, is available on Game Pass. It's like the
And
the
Steam
beta
too.
or something like that.
Early
Yeah,
access on Steam and Game
yeah.
Pass.
So with Steam, they're able to have a lot more access to the game than the people on Xbox, because they're
Right.
able to get like I guess like the early access to all of the extra DLC that they're adding, or the updates that they're adding, to be able to just explore it and play around with it.
Right.
But it's really intriguing, like the details and the different thoughts that they have that they're adding into this game. When I had originally played it, it was just the backyard, and you don't really have much of a story, but it's just surviving, and the fact
Right.
that you got to survive against ants, you got to survive against spiders,
Yeah.
Yeah.
stink bugs, ladybugs. You know what I mean? A crow eventually came in the picture, but also like weevils and different things like that, aphids, all that stuff. Like
Mhm.
there's like so many different creatures in this world that you can interact with, and it was cool how you're sitting there scrounging up pebbles and sticks or whatever to try to make weapons, and then you're using those weapons to kill bugs that will help you make other weapons. So it's like it's like this progression, and you're able to sit there and like collect a bunch of stuff and try to build yourself like a little mini castle or a hut if you want, but it was literally just about surviving in your backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they added new additions like the koi pond, where they had like a special lab that's like underneath the pond or whatever. So it's like in the pond with, you know, like a koi fish that's like really I guess has some like really valuable materials that come from it if you are
Right.
able to kill it and whatnot. The crow that drops the feathers, all that stuff. It's a lot of stuff to do. And like just going into like an anthill tunnel and then just like trying to survive in there and just like, you know, scope it out. Being able to take like the body parts that you get from some of the bugs that you kill or the, you know, or whatever, and being able to use those as like armor pieces and stuff like that. Like it literally makes it so like everything is usable in the game that you come across. Like there isn't like one thing that you come across and then it's like it's trash. Like you can literally use rose petals, you can literally use spider webbing, you know, everything, you know, you come across it. So I just thought it was a great game, and the fact that it was on Game Pass for free just made it that much more better. And the fact that, you know, it's almost like you get like a seat at the table with the game developers, right? Like, you know, most of the time when you hear about the betas and stuff like that, they have like a beta and it's like a closed beta, or sometimes it's open, but you only get like a small portion of the game or whatever. But you're literally playing this game as it's being built and revamped and, you know, and modified or whatever. Like you get to see all of the changes, experience all the things. So you're in a sense like the beta tester for this game. You know what I mean? So if you have any problems, you can message them, let them know. If you had any ideas, you can hit them up on Twitter, let them know your ideas. They will incorporate stuff. They have zip lines now. They have
That's dope.
elevators of some
cool.
type, you know, different things like that to help traversing the backyard be much more easier, because sometimes it can be daunting when you got to go from one side to like the other side or whatever. But, you know, you got to make that truck and hope that a wolf spider doesn't get you. But I thought that Grounded was a well done survival game, and I've played.
Yeah, they
Absolutely.
and they nailed the scale with that. Like you feel like you're a little kid
Honey,
in
I
a
Shrunk the
forest.
Kids.
Yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Like they really,
sure.
they really deliver that feeling. You know, like it definitely nails that. Like I want a little more direction when I start a game. Like
Yeah.
it's one of my peeves with Arc. Like
Right.
when they just throw in a game, I just don't know what I'm doing. I need a little more direction. But yeah, like they nailed a lot of great things, and I know it's another development, but yeah, it was a really cool game, man. Like we had fun that night for sure.
Yeah, and they started to have like slight directions, you know, because you have like a little quest line thing
Yeah.
that's up there.
Yeah.
So it
Quests.
does give you small direction. It doesn't like pinpoint where, but it'll kind of like guide you in the right
Yeah.
direction. But it's definitely a fun game to play with others. Like if you have 3 or 4 other, you know, 3 other people to play with or whatever, or just one other person to play with, it makes it that much more enjoyable. You know what I mean? Because you guys are trying to survive together.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's really cool.
I love you,
All right, so